All right, everybody, welcome back to the... Are you... Pay attention.
Yo, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I don't have this problem with David here, okay? This is why you were my fourth choice.
You know it. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I'm out of here.
No. Before you go, you've been keeping it real, so I want to ask you about some of the stuff that's been going on here. So
I always keep it real.
Two bits of little drama going on at ECT, and kind of brought to light a little bit more because SRK decided to run an article on the first topic, right? So there was a picture tweeted out of the top, I think it was 16 or 30, it was the top 16 bracket of Street Fighter 4, the semis, right? And Justin and Ricky were very close to each other, and Defeat Lee was like in the middle of them. Yeah. Justin lost to Defeat Lee, and somehow Ricky qualified in winner's bracket. So then it came to light that Ricky,
something was going on.
Yeah, that Ricky got floated with, I think his spot got switched with Lee Chung, Pai's Lee Chung, right? So a lot of people got mad, was like, oh, it's Justin and friends, it's the Illuminati, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Justin tweeted out, I had nothing to do with this. He's like, I had no idea what was going on. Then it came to light that Joe and Johnny, Sweet Johnny Cage, actually did the float themselves because they just did not want two people on the same team to play each other so early. And this is starting to cause a big stink, a big shitstorm, as it were, right? So
there's a couple ways I can answer this.
I have very pointed thoughts about this.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first, Mike?
I'll take it, but I'm trying to think, because there's there's a couple ways to go about this. Because I was formulating an opinion when you mentioned that the names were switched.
Right.
But it wasn't the players that switched it.
Yes.
The TOs switched it.
So it's
but they had to talk to the players first.
It's a little different. Well, actually, they didn't. Justin and Ricky had no idea it even happened, right? So it's different than the final round situation, because the final round situation, Champ and Neo
was straight AF,
Well, they talked about it, but the thing is, they got the other two people that they swapped with to agree, because those two people were friends too. Yeah. So they talked to the team.
See, I don't see.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Mike Ross. Mike Ross.
Hey, I'm sorry. As a competitor, if. Me and Kino, for example. But see, here's the problem.
Well, see, I was just about to ask, if you had to play one of your teammates...
let me talk.
Wait.
Yeah, okay.
Or if you had a team...
Yeah. Shots fired.
So let's say you had to play Gutex in the tournament.
Okay, you're still not done with your joke.
Yeah, so if you had to play Gutex...
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't be scared of playing Gutex.
Okay. Just stop.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let me talk. Go ahead. Let me take a real life example. Me and Kino, right?
Okay.
Because me and Kino, I mean,
you're boys.
We're boys.
You
brothers.
Boys.
I've known him since he was 10 or 11 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know you knew each other that long.
I've known him since he was 10 or 11 years old.
So how do you get so good with you?
Wow.
Keep going.
Wow. Okay. We met at Video 94 for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 when Marvel 2 just came out.
Right.
And he was this little kid on a scooter that rode up to tournaments, and he was up to my waist. He was up to my waist, and he had the flat top haircut and everything, and a high pitched voice. Everything. It was crazy. He had to reach up for the sticks or whatever. But he was a kid. But he understood the fundamentals of the game. Right. So it was pretty good. It was impressive. But anyways, so when Street Fighter 4, he vanished from the scene, of course.
Right.
Yeah, he played Third Strike casually apparently, and then he came back when Street Fighter 4 came out, and I told him to. I was like, yo. I ran into him randomly. I was like, yo, Street Fighter 4 is coming out. Game's going to be huge. You're godlike. You're black. Play the game. Seriously, man. I'm trying to get more of what I'm going to play, get off the streets and play these games, So he was like, yeah.
You're taking all the credit for Kino's success.
All the credit for Kino's success. That's right.
Keep going.
And then I was like, yo, play this game. Whatever, right? So we played together. We practiced together. We did everything, getting good at the game together, right? Every Arcade Infinity tournament, we played each other in the second round or third round, and we were furious every time, but we always did it. Why did we always play it? Because at the end of the day, we knew we were hungry for competition. Did we complain about it after the tournament? All the time. But we never complained to the bracket runners. We even thought it was a setup, because it's one of us might be able to beat the guy that was like running it or whatever. But it's like, if they know if we play each other early, it's like, all right, whatever, take it out. All right, Keno, you beat me, that's fine. Go win the tournament. I'll try to get second or something like that. Whatever. So I always just sucked it up and dealt with it. Granted, this is kind of at a local. At a major, Evo. Who did I play at Evo? Not this. Was it this year? I don't remember. No, it wasn't this year. I had to play Thrill House.
Oh, right.
We play all the time.
Okay.
We are in the same pool.
Okay.
We're at the time we're from the same city. Like we're the same zip code, the same number.
Right.
He and I just played, no lie, I think like 80 games the other day.
And then you had to play.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we had to play each other at Evo. Didn't ask for brackets. Like, that's just me.
Right.
It would suck, but I don't know. I'm not the right guy to ask because whatever, let it rock. However, this is me again as a competitive player. As a competitive player, I will play whatever I have to play. I've had to play Justin first round in top 32 many times, whatever. Yeah, we're from the same city. I'm not going to use that as an excuse to float me. Like, I'll play him. I don't care. Now, again, like I said, that's me as a competitive player.
Right.
There's a gentleman known as Kai and John Rog. Okay? They ran a tournament called West Coast Warzone.
Yes.
Because we got it. Like, I understood it. I said if I ran a tournament, though, I wouldn't want to see Mike Ross versus Keno first round. In a big picture. Like, I want to see everybody spread out. I want to see the matches you never get to see on a regular basis.
Right. Okay.
That's what I want to see.
Okay.
And Kai and them floated all the way up until top 8. And I thought, seriously, it was top 16, and they were still shuffling players around. And I said, this is the way it should be. Like, in a tournament. I thought that was great. And what happened when you did that? You had Ricky Ortiz versus 801 Strider in grand finals. 801 did work. He put in work. Would that have happened if 801 Strider had to play Peru in top 16? No. No, you wouldn't have got that great grand final.
Okay.
But it's like when you do that, you can make more interesting matches. That's me if I was a TO. Okay. I would be floating matches up to top 3 if I could. But that's why, I'm just... All
right, Mike.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
Remind me never to go to one of your events.
You guys are going to my tournament. Anybody can win. It's a fair tournament.
It's only the people you want to win. You're right. No. So, where I come from, from my standpoint, is just once the tournament starts, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Just don't float ever again.
That's the old school mentality. That's the way Valle runs SCR.
Right. You don't move anybody. You don't do nothing.
And like when I enter that, and I'm like, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. Like if I'm playing, it's different. Like I get it. Like as a competitive player, I'm like, whatever. Like it shouldn't matter. Because if I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you anyways. If it's my boy and I know he's going to beat me, like, I'm not going to be sucking my teeth like, this sucks. I play him all the time.
Because then someone's better than you in the tournament, right?
It's a tournament.
Exactly.
Play your match.
Right. So here's the thing, right?
Pat your boy on the back if he beats you, if he normally doesn't.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Good job.
Right. And so here's the thing, right? So, like, the biggest problem to me right now is that we need a consistent rule. This just has to stop. And it's kind of why I'm glad SRK kind of called it out here. Because I want all tournaments to do this. Yes, TOs should be able to do it however they want, right? But the thing about it is, if you keep doing this, you just keep opening the doors for, this other tournament did it.
Yeah.
Hey, but I saw this happen over there. Yeah. And then... like, no.
True.
No more. Done. Like, just no more floating at all.
Well, see, that's why,
So here's the thing, right? I'm willing to give a slight concession to this, right? My concession is to, when the brackets are published, when the pools come out, okay, so there's a couple points to this, right? So here's the first point. When the brackets come out, you post up the semifinals right away and show the semifinals bracket with Pool A winners, Pool B winners, Pool C winners, and you see who's playing each other, and that way the TOs do their best job to spread the teams or whatever like that. But
right.
Dude, this is not even a freaking team sport. This is an individual sport, right? Like, why do you even care if you have to play your teammate, one, right? But two, But TOs can try their best. But you know what? TOs are going to make mistakes. Yeah. A lot of people are still making these brackets by hand, and it's a painful process, right?
Yeah.
So
oh gosh.
You can end up with a bad situation where you accidentally put two people who are going to play each other early, like first round in semis, right?
Yeah.
If you publish the semifinals bracket right away, then Justin Wong can go and look and be like, hey, you know what? Pool A and Pool G are going to play each other. Ricky's in G, I'm in A. Hey, can we... switch it, and then you can swap them before the tournament starts.
True.
And then once the tournament starts, don't touch the brackets ever again.
And you know where I'm going to come in with this.
All right.
Here's where I'm going to come in with this.
Okay.
I'm about to be the bad. I'm about to be the real bad guy.
I might actually, if where you're going is.
I don't think you know where I'm
going. Okay.
If you know where I'm going, then you are godlike. But we wouldn't even be having this conversation right now if the players were Momochi and Mago or something like that. Nobody would even be complaining. If they ended up playing each other, or I'm sorry, let's just say Mago and Tokido, since they're on the same team. Sorry, not Momochi, right? We wouldn't even be having this discussion. Then what would have happened is they would have played early and they would be like, why did you switch them? That sucks. That's what a lot of people probably would have been complaining about. My personal opinion, I'm going to get bashed for that, but it's happened before. It happens at EVO when they play each other. Japanese play each other early, and everybody complains saying that sucks. That shouldn't have happened. They should have been moved.
Yeah,
every single time they play each other in top 32 at EVO, they're like, "Why do they have to play each other? Oh my god, they should have been moved." You know. But if it was like Justin and Ricky, then it's no favoritism.
Right. So I mean. That's just the thing, right? See, now you have all this ability for people to cry about it. Yep. Why didn't you move them? Why didn't you move them? If we just stop all this floating crap, if we just stopped all this shifting the brackets, once a tournament starts and it's published, like everyone should put the brackets in challenge or whatever like that, so the record is there for everyone to see. Once it starts, just don't change it anymore.
Yeah.
And the second part of my thing, and I've said this on the show before, if you don't pre-reg, because that's the biggest problem
This is actually true. This is the part that people like that are, I guess, watching the streams that aren't really participating in tournaments underestimate.
Yeah. So
the power of pre-reg.
A lot of tournaments, seriously, it's like half the people don't pre-reg, right? So a lot of tournaments end up that way. So you can't spread them out properly a lot of the times, because then the pool is just going to be a mess, right? Yeah. If you don't pre-reg for a tournament, you have zero right to cry. That's just soon as you don't do it. As soon as you don't pre-reg, that's it. You've waived all of your ability to complain about anything.
That's true. Yeah.
And so if we establish this as a hard, fast rule and stop floating anybody at any event, now nobody will see Mago and Tokido and go, why didn't you move them?
Yeah.
I saw it moved at this other tournament. Yeah. I saw that. Like, just, no. We're done with that. I mean,
James Chen laying down the law, keeping it strict. Look, rule enforcement.
You know that I'm a tennis fan, right? I like watching tennis, right? And I know you probably don't understand why I'm a tennis fan.
I have my assumptions.
Right? So, tennis, you see it all the time. Countrymen having to eliminate each other early on, you know, like two Swedish players having to eliminate each other, or two people both sponsored by Nike have to play each other. And you know what? They like that.
That's a good way to
see, they like it, because then it's like Nike versus Nike, right? So then both players have Nike logos all over them, right? So like if you have EG versus EG, then you got, you know, Intel or whatever else plastered on both players, right? So I mean, I think, like, it just happens. And especially, you cannot complain if it's the top 32.
True.
You've made it out of pools already. Like, there's nothing left to complain about. That's not even early.
And I mean, and the other factor about all of this, too, is that if, you know, fortunately, because of the, I guess, floating that happened, people got to see Defeat Lee versus Justin Wong. And that wouldn't have happened, is that right?
Well, it might not have if Ricky beat him or something like that. It was something to that effect, you know.
So that helped him out.
Right. But see, I saw somebody else complain that they were one of the people that Ricky got moved near. And so he was like, I got screwed because of this, right?
Yeah, no, well, of course, like, at the end of the day, it's like, the way I see it is, as a player, that tournament's locked. I'm going to play whoever you put in front of me. I'm not going to complain. I might be upset, but I'm not going to complain.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever complained.
Yeah, you know what? I don't think
Yeah.
I was gonna try to even think of a situation where I could make a joke about it.
Uh-huh.
I can't.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't, because I keep it real 100% of the time. The only person that'll come up to me and say, "Mike, that's a lie," is Shogo. But you know what, Shogo? I'm gonna say it once and I'm gonna say it again. Those FFA Marvel tournaments were the biggest garbage thing that ever happened. I swear to God, I saw Finesse lose 3 times in one tournament. Triple elimination.
Hey, I will say this.
He lost twice and came back in and bought his way back into the tournament. He just went to Mega Man Dead and was like, "Yo, man, put me back in the bracket. Put me back in the bracket." Got in and somehow won the tournament. Nah, Shogo says that I raged. Apparently, I punched the machine. I cussed him out. This is true, and I don't even remember this until he brought it up. He's like, "Mike, like you said, you were never coming back to FFA."
Just raged and
yeah, I raged because
right?
I was like, like, where are the rules? Like, oh man, I'm playing the game, whatever.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. We're talking about floating.
So okay. Oh,
Sorry.
Dude, I lost my train of thought there. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, I wanted to say one thing. Like I'm very much obviously very, very against, floating or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to call out Joe or Johnny, Sweet Johnny Cage, especially since Sweet Johnny Cage just announced that this is his last ECT. He's not doing it anymore because he's moving to the West Coast to pursue a career in video game. To develop video games or something like that. So shout out to him. Look, I love Joe. I love Johnny Cage, Sweet Johnny Cage. I love both of those guys. They're both awesome people. I'm not calling them out. In fact, I even tweeted them as soon as they said that they did this. I told them I respected their decision, but I told them that they need to stop doing it. And we are in a flux period. Let's face it. The FGC is in a massive flux period right now. Of course it is. And if people out there are thinking we're going to solve the problems in the next 2 months, I wouldn't even give it 2 years. You know what I mean?
I would say this is like if you guys were to ask me, and it's funny that you asked me this right now because of what I've been doing. But I think the FGC is in a strange situation. And I think 2015 needs to be the year. This needs to be the year for building.
Yeah.
Next year needs to be the year for action. And 2016, 17 needs to be the year where we reap the benefits. That's truly how I truly feel. Because I think it's because we started so late.
Yeah.
We started so late to finally get our stuff together. We should have... Now you're going to get me angry.
Here's the thing, right? Like, floating brackets and stuff like that is just only going to hold us back from getting there faster, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because then it brings up this drama. FGC, we know drama, but a lot of it is extra drama that we don't need, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Man. It's just like... Getting me so riled up over here. Is this what David has to go through every week? You bring up these topics that just make you just... Dude, in the pit of your stomach, you're so angry.
Here's the thing about David, though, right? Mm-hmm. He's so good at turning it around. Like, I'll say stuff to them, and then he'll just say something to me, and then I start raging.
Oh, okay.
Like, everyone on the chat is always like, "Dang, James, why are you so mad all the time?" And I'm like, "I'm not mad. I'm just passionate."
It's funny. You ask Gutex. Gutex will tell everybody I'm the angriest person he knows. It's true. I'm the angriest person anybody will ever know. No. I'm good. I'm good at hiding it right now. You see? We are brothers. We are happy people. We're the happiest people in the FGC.
Exactly. And after we're done with this show, we're going to go play some Marvel to extend our happiness. Because no one gets angry playing Marvel, dude.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, regarding, I guess, like, final thoughts on it. Final thoughts on the nonsense is I think, the floating aspect is such a minor factor in the whole development of the FGC, but it is a factor.
Yeah.
I think people take something so small and blow it up way out of proportion. Should there be floating? Should there not be floating? As a player, I'll play whoever you put in front of me. I'll play Daigo first round at Evo. I don't care. I'll play whoever. as a tournament organizer, I want to make sure people watching this see the best matches. That's what it should be. And at the end of the day, I think that's more important, is to make sure people see the best matches. Granted, was that float to guarantee best matches? Maybe not. But that's why it's like they did what they did. It's such a wishy-washy answer, but I totally get both sides.
So, well, the way that I'll come at it,
but if I floated, it would be a godlike float that people would be like, "Whoa! Like I didn't think this match would happen. Oh my god!" Anyways,
right, sure. Yeah.
I will float everybody. I don't care.
You will float like a butterfly.
Yes, I will.
And sting like a bee
all day. I will show up to the tournament with water wings on. Like I'm just ready to float all day.
I'm the greatest.
I'm passing out boards in those inner tubes. Everybody's floating at this tournament. Don't let me be a TO. Everybody's floating.
So my argument to that, so my concession to what you would say as a TO, that's where the TOs seeding the brackets are going to come in. You say when they make the pools, that's where you make sure everyone's spread out so that they will end up to the point where they have a good match at the end.
Right.
If on the way there upsets happen, so be it. That's the way it's going to go. I mean, it's interesting because I know hockey reseeds in the playoff. Yeah. Right? They actually reseed. The NBA does not. Yeah. Right? For example, so if 8 seed beats first seed.
Yep, yeah, that's it is what it is.
What it is, right? Yep. So it's kind of interesting. There's definitely two mindsets to it, but I feel like right now we need to establish a hard, fast rule that the entire community goes behind so that there's no inconsistency. We need consistency.
Of course, absolutely. That is true. Consistency is most important.
Yeah, that's what we need right now. And you know what? If we can do this without a governing body, that's just more power to us. I still don't want a governing body. Like someone actually said to me, is like, why don't you just call them out and tell them not to do it anymore? And I'm like, I can't tell people how to run their tournament. I can't tell them. I can only just sit here and say, for the good of everybody, let's do it consistently. Yeah. And I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, like Yeah, I won't rant any more than that. But everybody runs their tournament differently.
Right.
Keats runs his as a strictly, I don't care who you are. This is and I don't care why you're late, which I respect that so much. A lot of people got mad at me for defending that, but I thought that was cool. That's the tournaments that I'm used to. And then there's West Coast Warzone, which I love more than anything because they will float till top 8 to make sure that the people watching get the most exciting matches.
Oh, someone actually says that the NHL stopped the bracket reseeding.
Oh, wow.
Huh? Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, if David was here, he'd be able to tell me. Yeah. It's because David knows. So.
David knows. David knows everything.
All right. Well, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next little bit of drama, which isn't even drama.
Okay.
So it's just a lot of misunderstanding. A lot of people got upset on Sunday because Coach Steve made it to top 8 in Marvel, as we said in the results. But they were scheduled to go in at 5:30, and he was out with his mom for Mother's Day. So they delayed the start of the top 8 until he got there. He got there around 6 or 6:30, and everybody was like, why didn't you DQ him? That's BS because you're playing favorites and blah, 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 right? So just to help clear up the air a little bit, you can't DQ Steve because Joe mistakenly told him that Marvel started at 7:30. And so Joe was out with his mom thinking that he had till 7:30. So it's totally, Steve was out with his mom. So it was totally not his fault. You can't DQ him in that situation. So
that sucks. That's a terrible situation. Yeah. I mean, did everybody in top 8 agree with that?
I don't know if anyone complained. I didn't hear about anybody complaining about it, but
it's kind of weird because as a player, I'd be mad. Of course, like I said, I got I don't know. My brain switches when I'm in player mode. It seriously does. It does. I just want to kill everyone. I'm the most hateful person in player mode. So, but then again, if that's something that's kind of brought up, it's like, hey, I told him we delay it because he's out doing stuff. I'd be like, well, that's BS. I'm ready to play.
Right.
But,
so, some people are trying to give the TOs a little bit of shit about that. Yeah. Dude, look, let me tell you something. As commentator, I don't even know what the hell's going on or what the schedule is at the time. And if you're running an event, dude, your brain is in 90,000 places at the same time. You cannot blame them right now. I mean, if we can get to a point where we have actual staff and like dedicated people, no, like people who are TOs who are running events, you have to realize they are doing like 90 jobs.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah, they are.
So if they accidentally say to someone, 7:30, you're good. Dude, you cannot even remotely get mad at anybody for that. Because until you run one of those events yourself, I mean, speaking of John Rogg and Kai, who ran West Coast Warzone, after they ran the very first one, do you remember that? Like, Ed Ma showed up at like 10 a.m. in the morning and didn't play his first match until 10 p.m.?
Yeah!
You remember?
What do you guys know about that? Showing up at 10 a.m. because when you're supposed to play, you didn't play till 10 p.m.
Yeah, like stuff like that happened. So,
and then he lost to Warrock. He lost to Warrock.
Yeah. Like, so shit happens when you're a TO, right?
It's true.
And after the tournament was done, they knew shit happened and that you know there were problems. And I walked up to John Rogg and I was like, "Good tournament."
Yep.
Right? And he just looked at me. He's like, "I have so much more respect for everyone who runs tournaments now." He was like, I had no idea it was like this."
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, man.
And that's what gets me upset, though. That's what really gets me upset. Oh gosh, James, stop this. Stop this. Stop it. Stop it.
Okay, what gets you upset, Mike? What gets you upset?
Everybody's a TO now. It's like getting into the rap game. It's everybody wanted to be a rapper. They still do. They get behind the mic and they put out this garbage. They're like, well, how come my album ain't selling? You know, like, dang, I got so much respect for Ludacris. You know, like they start saying stuff like that. It's like all of a sudden, like everybody's throwing tournaments. Everybody's a TO, and not like a player. Not everybody's good at it. You know? Oh, I'm just getting upset over here. I just wish I could float on a cloud and provide some structure for all of this, James.
You're telling me you want to be the governing body, Mike Ross?
No, I don't. I just wish, like, just in the shadows, just kind of say, hey, maybe this might be better. Maybe that might not be a good idea. Oh, gosh.
Well, a little scared now.
You should be scared.
David, you can still make it here.
Yeah, David.
You're not that far away,
David,
dude.
get me off this mic, David, please, because...
Get me off this mic.
Get me off this mic. I'm losing clout by the minute, you know? I'm losing clout by the minute.
Oh, man. All right. We'll give you a chance to calm down, to gather yourself.
Yeah.
We'll take a break.
Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a break.
Okay. We'll be right back.